إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا يضل له ومن يضلل له فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن خير الكلام كلام الله عز وجل، وخير هدي هدي محمد صلوات الله وسلامه عليه، وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, today we're going to focus on one of the greatest things that affects every heart of every believer, from the righteous to the sinful, from the struggling to that one who has perfect iman. And we know that no one had perfect iman except the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But this one surah that we're going to focus today was the surah that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam focused on. And it is Surah Al-Fatiha. It is Al-Kitab. It is the Sab' Mathani. It is this surah that with it the salah is accepted, and without it the salah is rejected. And the scholars of Islam, they used to say that Surah Al-Fatiha, it is Al-Kitab. They used to say that Surah Al-Fatiha, that we recite in every rak'ah is a shifa. It is the cure. And Ad-Darimi radiallahu anhum used to say that Surah Al-Fatiha هي شفاء لكل مرض. It was the cure for every sickness. Every sickness, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam. But how much do we focus on Surah Al-Fatiha? How much do we focus? Because if we focus on Surah Al-Fatiha, we will find a change in our salah. We will find a change in our life. Because it is the Al-Kitab, and it is the Ra's Salah. It is the head of it is the mother of the book, and it is the head of the salah. These 7 ayat that we recite to what? To get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to secure our salah being accepted. But my dear brothers, do we ponder on every kalima, every word that's in the salah? Do we recite these huruf? Do we recite the letters in the salah, in this surah correctly? Are we giving a Surah Al-Fatiha its due right? And when we do this, we can say we're trying to be better Muslims. We're trying to perfect our salah. We're trying to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Harfan, kalima, kalima. Letter by letter and word by word. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, من صلى صلاة لم يقرأ فيه وفيها الكتاب فهي خداج. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever prays and he does not recite al-Kitab, al-Fatiha, then his salah is naqis. There's something missing in it. Almost made it, but it didn't make it. It's lacking something. Because this is al-Kitab. This is the mother of the book. And the Sahaba used to say, in the Torah and in the Injil, there's no one surah like this Surah Al-Fatiha. It is unique for the believers, for the chosen people. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the hidayah, has given you the guidance. All in this one surah. Or are we from amongst the people who recite it, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Rahman Rahim, trying to finish it, but not trying to ponder on the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? أَفَلَا يَتَدَبِّرُونَ? Will they not be of those who ponder? Or are their hearts concealed, closed? That we read the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we do not ponder on it. We read the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and it does not affect our hearts. Sufyan al-Thawri, radiallahu anhu, he was from the Tabi'een, وَأَتْبَعَ Tabi'een. He was from the righteous of the predecessors. He used to wake up in the middle of the night to pray Qiyamul Layl. And then he will become busy in making the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and leave off the Qiyam. He will leave off praying because he was busy in thinking about the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the whole night. Where are we? We compare ourselves with these illustrious companions and students of the companions. Where are we? It is when we ponder and when we compare ourselves that we will find a change within us. But when we don't, we do not give al-Kitab its right, then we will never change. And we will always be in the situation. The first ayah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. And then some of the scholars, they differ. Some of the scholars say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. But the opinion that I follow is that the surah starts with Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. And we ponder on this one ayah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, all praises, all thanks is for Allah, the Lord of the world. This shows us, we testify that there's other life forms other than the creation that we see in front of us. We testify to the life forms that they have, that the scholars and the scientists of this world have not yet found. Or maybe they will never find. We testify in this one ayah, the world of the jinn, the world of the angels, the world of the insects, the deepest and the darkest areas in the ocean, that the scholars and the scientists do not know what it is, what is in this particular area. We testify that the ability for other life forms is possible. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, all praises for Allah, the Lord of all of the worlds. This shows His greatness. This shows the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And everything submits to Allah, whether they know it or not. Everything. But we are those who say, thinking and pondering on this ayah, Alhamdulillah, we say it from our hearts. We say it in our minds. And in our actions, we show gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not only that we say it, and then saraf, we finish praying. No, but when we say Alhamdulillah, we mean it. We mean it. Because we know who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. And then it goes on to the next ayah. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My dear brothers and sisters, if we were to ponder on Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, maybe we would just worry about paradise and forget about the Jahannam. We would never think about the hellfire. We will always think about Jannah. Ar-Rahman has a meaning, and Ar-Rahim has a meaning. And within the Quranic translations, it says the mighty and the beneficent. But this is short of the true meaning of Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My dear brothers, Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim comes from the word Rahmah, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are two attributes that is affiliated with the mercy, the characteristics of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to have mercy. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said what? He said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has divided His mercy into 100 parts. 100 parts. He has sent only one part of this 100 to the earth. We only share within the 7 billion people on this earth one aspect, one part of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are people with billions and billions of dollars. Billions and billions of dollars. And this means nothing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For huwa ghani. He's rich. So can we now imagine, can we now ponder on what is al-akhirah? What is in the paradise? When the last person will enter paradise, will get a plot, as the Prophet ﷺ said, will be the size of 10 earths. This is the last person. This is the person who went to the Jahannam. He went to the hellfire because he had sins. And he was under the mercy of Allah. And he did sins that deserved him or caused him to go to the hellfire. He was taken out after he became purified. And he will go to earth, he will go to paradise. And he will receive a plot the size of 10 earths. We can't see to the other side of Roosevelt Island. We can't see to the other side of America. How about having a plot? You, each one of us, have a plot in Jannah. Jannah, brothers and sisters, that is the size of 10 earths. This is of Rahman. This is of Rahim. And we ponder on these two names. What is the difference that they both come from? Ar-Rahman. The scholars that they say, Ar-Rahman, this is a name that can be attributed with Abd. You can say Abdul Rahman. And you can say Abdul Rahim. You can say Rahim. But you cannot say Rahman. I cannot name my son Rahman. Because this type of mercy is only for Allah. So Ar-Rahim is the mercy that is spread throughout the earth to the Muslims and the non-Muslims. But Ar-Rahman is a mercy that is only for those who believe in Allah in the last day. This is why we worship Allah. Some of the people, they say, if I can't have my Jannah now, then I don't want the Akhirah, I don't want the hereafter. But this is a foolish person because he doesn't understand what is a Jannah. The eye has never saw. The fragrance of it have not been smelt. That is Jannah. This is in the capacity of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And from the mercy of Allah, from the jaza of Allah, is that on the Akhirah, we will see His face. We will see the face of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the mercy of Allah. And then we go on to say, Maliki Yawmiddin. And some of the narrations, Maliki Yawmiddin. The master of the day of judgment. The master of the day of judgment. The day of Hisab, accounting, reckoning. Al-Yawm al-Qiyamah. We say this thinking and pondering on who we're focusing on. We should not just be standing and sitting to pray towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not focus on every ayah, every kalima. But we say, master of the day of judgment. The one who has the ability to forgive you and the one who has the ability to punish you. On the day of judgment, there will be people who will go past Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bighayr hisab, without any account. Why? Because they were true muhsineen in this life. True muhsineen. And they say that they will speed across the bridge. We're on it, the bridge is as sharp as a razor. And it has hooks pulling people down to the hellfire. This is that day. That day where it is mentioned, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, that a person will drown from his sweat because the sun will be so close. This individual, will he have time to be focusing on who is next to him? His beloved? No, he will say, nafsi, nafsi. He will say, myself, myself. We're putting our trust in the power, in the hands of the mighty, the majestic, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we say Maliki Yawmiddin. And this word deen should be understood. Like it is said, Kama tadeen, tadan. Like you do, will be done to you. And we don't embrace this term karma. Because we don't say Mother Nature. No, because everything is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we need to not say and not be of those who are fooled and say, and give a might or power to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And say karma will come back to you. No, my dear brothers, the qadr will come back to you. If you do wrong to those, then wrong will be done to you. And if you are righteous to people, righteousness will be done to you. This is the reward of jazak, of good, of khayr. And then we go on to say, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. You alone we worship, and you alone we seek our assistance. It is not from our parents. It is not from the Prophet. It is not from the righteous who have passed away and they're waiting in their graves. We don't go to the graves to seek the power and assistance. We return only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what we're distinguished by at Tawheed. We're distinguished by this. We're different from others because we put everything solely in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when we're afflicted, and we want to take medication, and we take medication, and we find that the medication didn't work, or it didn't relieve from the pain, we must ask ourselves, are we putting our trust in the medication? Are we putting our trust in Allah? But the two should be together. We should say Bismillah and then take the medication. Because if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to be cured, you will be cured. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to go through this ibtila, this calamity, then we will go through it. No one is free. No one will be free and excused from trials and tribulations. And although some trials and tribulations seem to be greater than others, believe me, every trial and tribulation is great to the person who's enduring it. So we never say, oh brother, your trial is nothing like mine. Because that trial that he's going through is mighty and heavy on his heart. It is a fitna for him. Like your trials and tribulations are a fitna for you. So we put our trust solely into the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we're not those who say we're going to pray, but don't get up and get a job. We're not those who say we're going to put our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but we don't prepare for battle. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he had more trust than any of us. And he used to wear a helmet and carry his sword while going to fight the battles. He used to get up and work. This is the sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ اهْدِنَا الصِّرَاطَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. Guide us to this path. Guide us to the straight way. And we're not just walking the life of a Muslim. And when we say, guide us, we're saying, give me, enter into my life everything that will make me better. Everything that will keep me on this sirat. Because we know without the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that all of us are lost. Every single one of us. So we never look at our good deeds to be